been on there?
I'm trying to remember. Here, we'll get into this.
Okay.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Unlimited Justice, or Lil still on vacation. Anyway, I am Phil, and I am joined by one of the best in the business, Mr. Will Allred, as we're going to talk week 2 of Flash.
Hey, everyone.
More Geoff Johns, Rogue War. All right, so I'm trying to look this up because you asked me a question right before we jumped on, and I'm like, that's a good question. Let's see, because I think I might have this right here. All right, because what were these? These two, the issues we covered today were 2005, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He might have started, I believe it was in 2000, so he might have been on there for around 5 years.
Look at one.
Because let's see, 165 was part of his run. I'm just going back. 164. Yep.
163 was not.
Yeah, 160. Yeah, I remember that. That was a fill-in. So yeah, 164 was his first from September 2000.
Wow, so he was on for 60-something issues.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a really, really healthy run.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
he came on like what, if one fill-in issue after Wade's final issue, Mark Wade's final issue?
I don't. Was that him? I know there were a few fill-ins between him and Wade. I can't remember if Geoff Johns wrote any of those, but
okay.
Yeah. But I do remember his run. He did stuff like he would do like a couple issues. He would do like a one issue profile on like members of the Rogues and stuff, and a lot of like the newer. I mean, all the like newer Rogues were like his creations, like Tar Pit and Girder and all.
Mm-hmm.
And the second Trickster.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I figured we jump right into these because since there's 6 issues. But there's one thing I wanted to tell you before we started recording anything tonight. I was on X, Twitter, and I don't know who put it up, but someone put, guys, what's stopping you from dressing like this? And it was like a Alex Ross, Jay Garrick picture. And friend of the show, Jeremy Adams responded, what do you put? It was like prolonged exposure to hard water fumes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Comic show kids.
That's right. These are the jokes, folks. Tip your waiter.
I'll be here all week. Try the veal. All right. Like I said, let's jump into this because it's 6 issues. A lot's going on here.
And it moves, if you'll pardon the pun, pretty fast.
In a flash. All right, kids. So this starts in the Flash number 220 from May 2005, Rogue War Chapter 1. Writer Geoff Johns, penciler Howard Porter, inker John Livesey, colorist James Sinclair, letterer Pat Brousseau, and editors Joey Cavalieri and Rachel Gluckstern. Captain Cold thinks about the oath the Rogues have to always protect each other and watch each other's backs. He thinks about the turncoat Rogues and that this is now war. In Chicago, Captain Cold, Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, Trickster, and Captain Boomerang Jr. break into an FBI facility to find that Digger Harkness's body has been removed. They resolve to find the body so Owen, Captain Boomerang Jr., can bury his father. Owen corners a guard and asks if he can kill him. Cold says if it makes him feel better, and Owen dispatches the guard. In Keystone City, Wally West, Linda Park, Mr. Wheeler, and Reese Wheeler are at a Keystone City Combines game. Wally holds Linda's stomach and thinks about the doctor's appointment they have. At Keystone City Police Department, Ashley Zolomon, Jared Murillo, and Fred Shire discuss moving Dr. Alchemy to Gotham City. They talk about doing it to save an officer, and would they do the same? Save an officer, and would they do the same for their own? Shire realizes how awkward the comment is with Ashley standing in the room. As Ashley is leaving the station, she's kidnapped by Pied Piper and taken to a secret facility. Wally and Linda attend a doctor's appointment where they learn there's been no change in status and they are not pregnant. Wally thinks about what Professor Zoom did to Linda. As Ashley wakes up in a hidden facility, James Jesse tells Ashley he needs to know where Cold and the Rogues are hiding. He knows she doesn't know, but he believes Digger Harkness knows as he points to Digger's dead body hooked up with machinery to his brain. He says it's advanced technology that can stimulate a brain and reactivate it to get information. Since Ashley is the rogue profiler, he wants her to find out the information once they reactivate him. In New York, Jay Garrick is attacked by Zoom and told that he can help him by teaching Wally how to be a hero. Zoom holds blueprints in his hand. In Central City, Heatwave, Pied Piper, James Jesse, and Magenta attack Cold's rogues in their lair. So, a lot going on. But yes, Ashley Zolomon has her ex-husband's old job as the Central City profiler. So,
yep.
And of course, yes, the original Captain Boomerang was killed during Identity Crisis.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, so well, he was sent to, even though he didn't know why, he was sent to kill Jack Drake, Tim Drake's father, and then I think Jack Drake had a gun, so they kind of like killed each other.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like a well-known page, like splash page from that, when Tim finds his dad's body and Batman just like holding him and stuff. But yeah. Oh, you blocked out Identity Crisis, did you?
Yeah. I try.
Batman, my favorite character.
But yeah, definitely a lot going on. And but yeah, it was a good issue. Art's great. Good story.
Oh yeah. And again, we're going to deal with the fact here that, after Barry's Flash series, like a lot of his rogues either like retired or like tried to go straight and stuff. So yeah, we're going to deal with that here, kids. It was not a coincidence.
You mean somebody made them? What do you mean, Phil?
I mean, I kind of like that, like Geoff Johns picks something up. He's like, you know what, that was kind of coincidental. All his rogues pretty much,
yeah.
Except for Abracadabra, because he was Mark Wade's favorite rogue. Oh. Went straight from the source. Because I asked Mark Wade the one time, I'm like, you love Abracadabra, right? I'm like, you kept using him in your Flash run. He's like, oh yeah. All right. So you jump to the next part.
Let's roll.
All right. The Flash 221, June 2005, Rogue War Chapter 2, same team. Heatwave recalls how the new rogues came into the picture. He thinks about how they all joined because they've lost something, whether it be family or revenge. Captain Cold leads his team of old rogues of Mirror Master, Weather Wizard, Trickster, and Captain Boomerang Jr. as they face off against James Jesse and his new rogues consisting of Magenta, Heatwave, and Pied Piper. When Cold and Heatwave's guns connect with each other, there's an explosion and Cold's crew escapes in the chaos. James yells at Heatwave for being unable to control himself. Heatwave thinks about how they work for the FBI now. James Jesse orders Ashley Zolomon to probe Digger Harkness's brain again by electrocuting it to bring him back to life. He wants to know where Cold's Rogues Armory is located. Wally West hears about the explosion and becomes the Flash to investigate. Cold's Rogues are ambushed by James's Rogues at their armory. Weather Wizard can control electric storms and reverse magnetic poles, so he quickly disables Magenta. James interferes and shoots sticky gum on Weather Wizard's face. James has a slinky tied around his neck as Axel Walker drags him up a skyscraper. Owen tortures Wrath away and demands to know where his father is. Flash zooms past Jared Murillo and Fred Chider's police car, who are all on their way to the scene of the explosion. Heatwave and Cold face off, and when Flash gets in between the two, they both blast him. And if this wasn't crazy enough, the Top reappears as he promised and says, "Today is the day." Because we also had a story with him around the same time. It's Identity Crisis. A similar theme or two.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But so what do you think about like each of these issues like kind of opens the same way, kind of like centered on like someone's face and like their thoughts and stuff?
Yeah, I mean it's really well done. I mean he's getting us into the heads of, first one it was Cold, this one was, Heat Wave. So yeah, I mean it's good. And then Wally kind of narrates the 225, I think, doesn't he? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Which again, I mean, it kind of makes sense because it is Geoff Johns' last issue, so of course you're gonna go out on Wally West, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But
now the Flash didn't last much longer. It got relaunched after this, right?
It went to was it 230 or so? Yeah, and then because like after remember Infinite Crisis where Wally and Linda and the kids kind of disappear? They're out of it. Yeah, then Bart Allen becomes the Flash for about a year and then gets killed by the Rogues, but we see him get brought back. Yeah. What was that? Crisis on Three Earths or whatever? Or it was
Legion of
Three Worlds, yes.
Yeah.
A Crisis on the Brain. Yeah, Legion of Three Worlds. Yeah, Bart comes back, but then Wally gets brought back. Wally and the family get brought back, and then like they reboot the numbering, so then it goes like from like 231 though. I think it's 247, but then after that, that's when they bring Barry back.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Flash that I have missed in the last several years, so. Oh.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm trying to see anything else here. All right. You ready for the next one?
You bet.
All right. The Flash 222 from July 2005, Rogue War Chapter 3. Oh, John Livesay only does the first half of the issue. Howard Porter, it does the inks for the first half, and Howard then the second half. Howard Porter inks his own pencils.
Cool.
Same team besides that. The Top fights Flash. Pied Piper takes down the Top with his music. Flash asks him why he ran when he was almost cleared. Hartley tells Flash he's still mad with Mirror Master. The Top awakens and returns James Jesse and Pied Piper's memories back to them, returning them to their villainous selves. Meanwhile, in Central City, Ashley Zolomon defeats her captor. He tells Digger Harkness she is going to bandage him and get him out of there. He tells her no. He tells her that if the Rogues knew who Owen's mother was, they would kill him. He tells her to tell Owen to stay away from his broth and then coughs. James Jesse tells Captain Boomerang Jr. and Weather Wizard he wants back into the Rogues. Flash knocks out Pied Piper by revealing his true identity and takes him to his apartment for Linda Park to watch over. The Top then releases Heatwave from his reprogramming. Captain Cold is shocked to see him sweat as he almost never does. The Top shows that he has reprogrammed Murmur, Double Down, Girder, and Tar Pit to work for him, all the new Rogues. He tells Cold he will reprogram him too if he doesn't join. When Flash joins the fight, they all turn their attention to him. During the commotion, Cold freezes the Top's body and shatters it, killing him. He walks away, warning Rogues shouldn't fight each other, because when they do, bad things happen. Axel Walker, Owen Harkness, and Weather Wizard break into the facility holding Ashley and Digger's body. They're about to take out their frustrations on Ashley when Zoom arrives and stands between them and his wife. Well, that escalated quickly.
Well,
And it's gonna
escalated quickly.
It's gonna escalate even more.
I know. So yeah, I'm trying to remember the issue where it was like an Identity Crisis crossover, but why Top said he reprogrammed like half the rogues. I think he was just like, I'm gonna prove I can. And it's like, okay.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. I think there was a story even earlier on. It might have been Wade's run even where it's like the Top that like swap bodies with at some point where it's like his powers kept like evolving. So like he got like mental powers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very weird. It's very weird. And yes, as we'll learn later, Owen's mother. It's so weird. It's like I don't know if they like threw Captain Boomerang through time just to make it happen, but it's a Thawne. Was it Melanie Thawne? Yeah. Because they seem to like. I'm trying to remember if it was here or Outsiders, but like Owen's like revealed to like have like not full on super speed, but I guess like quick bursts of super speed.
Yeah.
Like enough to like toss a boomerang at supersonic speed.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the superhero cliche of when you've had your identity wiped from the world's memory, but then you could shock people who knew it before by just unmasking him in front of them. Spider-Man's done it, yeah.
Yeah. Flash has done it twice now.
Yes. But yeah, so yeah, don't mess with Zoom's ex-wife because bad things will happen. I swear we're not doing this justice because there's a lot going on in these issues.
There's a whole bunch. I mean, it is. It's just action, but the action is there for a purpose because these people are going after each other, and everybody else that's in the pretty much. So, yeah.
And again, it's Geoff Johns' final arc on the Flash, so he's trying to tie everything up. So
yeah, exactly.
And like I said, he had done a lot of work with the Rogues, and again, created like all these new Rogues. So it's like, he's trying to like sign the the somewhat final word on all of them. So,
Yep.
All right, ready for the next one?
Let's hit it.
All right, The Flash 223 from August 2005, Rogue War Chapter 4. I believe it's the same team. Yep, same team. Hunter Zolomon thinks about how he is not a part of the Rogues, but instead exists to make Flash a better hero. Ashley Zolomon is shocked to see her husband and can barely see him since he fades in and out of the timeline. Weather Wizard, James Jesse, and Owen Mercer say they just want Digger Harkness's body back, but negotiations go south when Owen hastily throws a boomerang at Zoom. Without even trying, Zoom catches the boomerang and drops it on the ground. He snaps his fingers, knocking all the Rogues back with a sonic boom.
Which he's done before.
Oh yeah, we're going to get into that. Elsewhere, the Flash continues his fight against Murmur, Double Down, Girder, and Tar Pit. Zoom defeats the Rogues and takes Ashley Zolomon to Linda Park, where she is already tending the Pied Piper. Captain Cold appears and tells the new Rogues to stop squabbling. Mirror Master appears in the ice reflection of the smashed head of the Top, and Dr. Alchemy appears as Cold had requested. So now Dr. Alchemy's joining the... Jared Murillo and Fred Shire appear on TV as the Keystone City Police Department is evacuating people across the bridge from the explosions across Central City. When Impulse sees the announcement, he suits up to help Flash fight the Rogues. It says Impulse here, but he's Kid Flash at this point.
Kid Flash at this point.
Yeah,
exactly.
Zoom tells Weather Wizard he studied him. He knows he's insecure about about being not as smart or special as his brother. After knocking him out, he grabs Ashley and disappears, telling her that she's not safe in the middle of the battle. Piper wakes up with Linda and tells her he feels like his mind has been messed with. Suddenly, Zoom shows up in the room with Ashley and drops her off with Linda before disappearing. Dr. Alchemy messes with Wally's physiology. Cold tells Mirror Master he needs a bigger mirror. When Cold makes a gigantic wall of ice, Mirror Master throws Gorilla Grodd into the fray.
Yep.
Kid Flash zips onto the scene, saving Flash. As Kid Flash and Flash are now surrounded, Cold orders them to surrender. Zoom says Plunder, there's another new rogue, doesn't belong in this dimension and zips through him, exploding the mirror image of Plunder from this dimension. Yeah, that was like the first arc of Geoff Johns. Like Wally was like trapped in like this alternate mirror universe. So
Oh, okay.
that's where this Plunder came. He was like that one cop, Jared Murillo. He was like that was him in the other universe.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because he actually like took his place for a while in this universe. Zoom picks up Cold and threatens him for threatening the Flash. He throws Cold through the gigantic ice wall we created, shattering the image of Mirror Master. Zoom grabs the Kid Flash by the neck and threatens to snap it the same way Barry Allen did to Eobard Thawne. Zoom utters some letters and Eobard Thawne appears. He has a cosmic treadmill and strapped to the front is Jay Garrick, reappearing after being kidnapped by Zoom earlier. So now we're bringing time travel into the mix, kids.
And not just once. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, lots going on in here. I have to say I've always preferred Impulse as Impulse and not as Kid Flash.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I get that's where he was at this point. Yeah, but yeah, this was a good issue. I mean, a whole lot going on. I mean, how many characters are we doing now? You know, we had Dr. Alchemy, we had Grodd,
Kid Flash.
Jay Garrick,
Eobard Thawne.
Professor Zoom.
That's not the last character who's going to show up, make a surprise appearance, kids.
We got one more. One more.
At the end of next issue, yeah. Yeah, craziness. Trying to. But yeah, Geoff Johns not afraid to kill off one of his darlings. Plunder gone, yes.
So that rogue tale is wrapped up.
Oh, geez. Okay, here. List of antagonists: Professor Zoom, Owen Mercer, Weather Wizard, Trickster, Girder, Double Down, Plunder, Murmur, Captain Cold, Tar Pit, Heatwave, Dr. Alchemy, Captain Boomerang, Gorilla Grodd, and Zoom. And that's just the rogues.
Wow. Yeah. He juggles them all. He does it well.
Yeah.
Issue.
And once again, kids, I mean, this is on DC Universe Unlimited. It's also be reprinted in the trade paperback Flash Rogue War. So
it's probably in. There's a Geoff Johns Flash omnibus too.
I'm sure it has to be in there. Yeah,
because
this is one of his big ones. So yeah. All right, next issue.
Let's hit it.
All right, I know we're going through this fast, kids, but then we'll talk about this whole thing when we're done too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, The Flash 224 from September 2005, Rogue War Chapter 5. Same team. Flash frees Jay Garrick from the time treadmill. Garrick throws his hat at Professor Zoom, who's choking Bart Allen, breaking his grip. Meanwhile, Flash is fighting the other Professor Zoom that arrived from the future. Well, or the past.
Something like that.
I know. Bart and Jay join the fight. Meanwhile, the rogues are beginning to regain consciousness. The two Zooms grab Flash and begin running on the time treadmill. Elsewhere, Linda Park, Pied Piper, and Ashley Zolomon begin to talk. Linda falls to her knees, clutching her stomach in pain. Could that be? On the time treadmill, Flash and the two Zooms are fighting, and in the course of their battle, Captain Boomerang gets lifted out of the past and deposited into another time. Where he's going to make a deposit. The time treadmill arrives at its destination, the moment in time when Linda Park lost her unborn children in battle between Flash and Professor Zoom. The two Zooms force Flash to watch the incident unfold. They rewind the treadmill to make him watch again. Then Barry Allen arrives on another time treadmill. Now we have two cosmic treadmills, kids.
That's right. Wow. Now, at the end of was it Zoom, the 4-issue Zoom arc that ended at 200? Barry showed up and said,
Yes.
"Hey,
Yeah.
show up 3 times, right?"
Yeah.
So he shows up.
Although that had, I guess, from Barry's perspective, that's after this because he has no idea about that in this story. So
Yeah. So he's different. They go in different ways. Gotcha. But when did he show up for the 3rd time?
Oh, I don't know. Was it Infinite Crisis? Because didn't he pop out of Speed Force to grab Superboy Prime?
Maybe.
Either
I'll look that up.
Either that or Final Crisis, because that is when he returns, because he's already back when Flash Rebirth starts. So, although that wasn't that wasn't like Wally centric Final Crisis. So I don't know. Oh, I don't know if you saw the one page where they're going through time and you see like a bunch of Wally's memories in the background. I did notice this. One of the images in the background is Wally like climbing up a tree and his father chasing him. That's from Flash 65, Mark Waid's first arc. You know when he did like Flash Year 1. Yeah, so
nice.
so Geoff Johns called back to like Mark Waid's first arc. I'm like, that's awesome.
Nice.
See, that's another sign of I think of like a good comic writer, like when you can use what other people have done in the past in your stuff.
Exactly.
Instead
Well,
of like trying to reinvent the wheel like certain people.
I think part of it is that you can use continuity to help tell your story, and if it's for the continuity that you don't want to address, just use and move on, and somebody else will use what works for them, right? It's and I think Johns does that very, very well. Mark Waid does that extraordinarily well too. The Flash has had 2 really long runs by writers that had kind of a singular vision that lasted for a chunk of issues,
and who like know their history and stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
And then if it wasn't crazy enough, yes. So Barry Allen arrives. All right. All right. Should we jump to the last one?
You bet.
All right. Then we can talk this whole thing out. All right. Of course, the Flash 225, Geoff Johns' last issue. Hold on. Sorry, my screen was jumping around. All right, The Flash 225, October 2005, Rogue War conclusion. In the past, Wally is surprised by the sudden appearance of Barry Allen, his mentor and predecessor as the Flash. As Barry attacks Reverse Flash, Wally looks below at Zoom's reason for bringing him here. 6 months ago, Zoom killed Wally's unborn twins, and that moment is unfolding below him again. Barry rescues Wally from Zoom. Wally realizes that Barry is from some time before he left Central City to retire in the future. Before he died in crisis. Barry mentions that they should get back to the relative present before their actions disrupt time. In the present, Ashley Zolomon, Zoom's ex-fiance, is bringing Linda Park, Wally's wife, to Keystone General Hospital because she is collapsing from stomach pains. In the past, Wally tries to warn Barry about his future, but Barry waves it away, concentrating on the mission at hand. He tells Wally that it'll all work out. Just push yourself when you need to. After that, he grabs Professor Zoom and returns to the cosmic treadmill. Wally realizes their point of origin. His second wedding day when Flash killed Professor Zoom to protect Fiona Webb. Robbed of one plan, Zoom switches to his backup to run around the world, getting a running start and plow through Linda Park at super speed. To save her and prevent a paradox, Wally runs after him. However, he cannot come level with Zoom, and with meters to go, gets an idea from Barry's advice. He knocks into Zoom at super speed, pushing himself. Zoom is knocked through the sonic boom created by his past self and is confused. Wally is temporarily drawn to help Linda, but knows that in his own past he did that. He concentrates instead on knocking out Zoom. Desperate to salvage his plans, Zoom tries to restart the cosmic treadmill, but since his powers are not derived from the Speed Force, the treadmill comes apart. In the space before they reconnect with the present day, Zoom sees flashes from his life and the choices and accidents that brought him to his present state. Realizing what he almost put Wally through, he apologizes before disappearing. In the present, Jay Garrick and Kid Flash are left standing as the rogues are teleported out by Mirror Master. The Turtle's power to negate the Speed Force prevents the Flashes from following. Suddenly, Wally reappears in the present. Through a reflection, Captain Cold explains that the rogues didn't want this fight and that there were no winners here. Wally responds by smashing that mirror. Pied Piper arrives at Ashley Zolomon's request to tell the Flash about Linda's trouble. At the hospital, Wally arrives. Ashley gives him the bad news. The wounds she sustained when Zoom killed her unborn children have reopened. Less than a minute after Wally arrives, Linda dies of her wounds. However, seconds later, a loud humming sound comes from the room, and Linda sits up sharply. She is somehow pregnant again and about to give birth. Stunned, everyone prepares for the delivery, which is successful. The 2 children are born, and the parents are congratulated. At Police Precinct 242 the next day, Detectives Murillo and Chire are calling it a day. Ashley Zolomon stays on 10 minutes to finish some paperwork. Although she knows the Flash's secret identity, she decides not to divulge it into the files. However, on Owen Mercer's file, she gives the name of his mother, which she received from the late Captain Boomerang while he was reanimated. Melanie Thawne. Wait. So, didn't Captain Boomerang say something like, oh, yeah, they can't find out who his mother was? Didn't he say something about his brother or something?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Because Melanie Thawne is also the mother of Bart Allen.
Well, isn't that in the future though?
Yes. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Melanie Thawne and Bart was conceived and born in the future, but yes.
Future, but it's a little confusing.
Well, that's where Owen Mercer was conceived too, but somehow he's back.
Okay.
So so Captain Boomerang Jr. and Impulse are brothers, so, or at least half brothers.
Half brothers. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She then leaves to be with her workmates and does not see Zoom materializing in her office to apologize. Meanwhile, at Avernus Cemetery, the rogues have convened to lay flowers on Captain Boomerang's grave. While there, they decide to join Lex Luthor's new group. Heatwave and Trickster want to rejoin the rogues. Captain Cold agrees to let them, calling them family, and nothing's more important than family. Well, except maybe revenge. But yeah, the whole Lex Luthor talk, this is leading into Infinite Crisis.
Crisis, that's right,
yeah. Which we covered on Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast.
We did indeed.
At dawn, Wally and Linda are awake while their new babies sleep. Wally mentions Jay's theory that when Wally pushed Zoom into the sonic boom, he absorbed most of the blast, creating a fissure in time, which reset itself after Wally returned to the present. However, despite all the amazing things of the day and all the tests at Keystone General, Linda is fine and the babies are pronounced normal. Wally thinks that Zoom was wrong. It is his friends and family who make him stronger, not the tragedies that assail him. Going on a morning run, he thinks about all that has happened to him over the last few years and how, having withstood them with his friends and family, he feels ready for whatever happens next.
I don't know if he's ready for what happens next.
Well, yeah, I mean, after Infinite Crisis and stuff.
Yeah.
Once again, it seems like at the end of like a series, well, this is in the Geoff Johns run, but they always try to give them a happy ending until like Crisis. Because that was
Yeah.
Barry Allen. He ran to the future, he was reunited with Iris, and I think the last page literally says, and they lived happily ever after for an hour,
For like 3 days.
No, I think they said like I think he was with her for like a month in the 30th century before he had to run off the Crisis. Yeah.
Yeah. So was the top alive at the end of that issue? Did I misread that?
No, I thought they said then I thought they said he was dead because they did get shattered.
Yeah, but then who was? Do you have Can you pull up that last issue? Like it's in the last few pages with them at the grave.
Let me see. Hold on, give me a second.
Because I thought he was dead.
Yeah, me too. Let's see. DC Universe Infinite.
Maybe I just misread it. It wouldn't be the first time I messed up something today. So.
All right, Flash 225. Oh, it said that the cover for 225 was an homage to Infinite Crisis with all the rogues and everybody on the cover in the back.
Oh.
Although it's just their faces. I'm like, what cover was that? Let's see. We got. Oh, there's his grave right there. There's his grave right there, the top.
Yeah, but isn't that him flying off right there?
That's Weather Wizard, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it?
Back
Back up a page.
Back up. Yeah, no, I think that's Weather Wizard. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. That makes a lot more sense because I was confused.
Yeah, no, the top's dead. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Geoff Johns is like, nah, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He's totally dead. He's dead.
So I'm assuming strange stuff happens in the hometown of the Flash, but like for a woman to suddenly become spontaneously 9 months pregnant again, no one questions that.
After she just died?
Yes.
So, yeah.
I mean, I guess Wally and Linda could just be like, oh, yeah, we got caught in the middle of Flash's battles or,
Weird stuff happens around the Flash, yeah.
Oh, saw a bunch of treadmills flying through the air, and all of a sudden she was pregnant again.
Yeah. It was weird. So to bring us up to speed.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Okay, couldn't resist. Wally's title gets canceled at 2:30, I believe, is what we said. So this was 225, so 5 more issues.
Yeah.
Infinite Crisis happens. He and Linda with the kids go into the Speed Force.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's almost like it was I don't know if they said it was like a parallel world or something, but they really didn't show much of that. They didn't show that, but yeah, Bart becomes the Flash for like a year because he kind of gets aged up to like 19 or something.
Yeah, and then he supposedly gets killed, and everybody forgets about Wally, just like he never existed or something. They don't even know he's in the Speed Force. Is that?
I think it was. I don't know if it was. I don't think they thought he was dead, but they didn't know where he. I think it was a case of they didn't know. It was Barry Allen once again. It's like they didn't know where he went, what happened to him.
Okay.
Because it was the Legion who they kind of bring him back.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
The Lightning Saga thing, yeah.
Yeah. So once he gets back, then Flash Rebirth happens and Barry takes over the title.
Well, no. Well, Wally's series goes from like 231 to 247 that's the first time we get him as like the family man. I think Mark Waid. Yeah, Mark Waid came back for that.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Because I think because that's the other thing he was saying. Like, I think he said he got like people were complaining about him. Yeah. Because 231 when Wally returned. Yeah, Mark Waid. So yeah. So once again, Mark Waid returned. Yeah, there's 231. Yeah.
Cool. So then Flash Rebirth happens,
Yes.
and then we get Barry as the
Yes.
Flash until Flashpoint and New 52.
Yes. Yes, and then original Wally's not seen for a while, but yeah, then he eventually returns. But then it's so weird because it's like Linda doesn't remember him. Then when the kids aren't around, but then Wally eventually finds the kids, and Rebirth. We kind of like quietly start erasing New 52 stuff. So
Okay, and then
eventually we get the Jeremy Adams run with Wally and the
well,
family.
before we get to the Jeremy Adams run, we get Heroes in Crisis,
Oh yeah.
right? Which Jeremy Adams fixed because it was Savitar. It wasn't Wally.
Yeah. Oh. But there was so much bad negativity towards that run, just what deservedly so. It's like Wally was first he was Kid Flash, then he was Flash for how many years, and you're gonna do that to him?
Yeah, but then then we get the Jeremy Adams run, which is I think I've read about half of it, which is really good. It's really good.
And then I think in September, new Flash #1 is it Cy Spurrier? I think is coming in, but
Sounds right.
Yeah, but then Jeremy Adams is doing that Jay Garrick miniseries, so
yeah, we've got three series that we have to because Jeremy Adams is doing a Golden Age Flash.
Yes.
We've got a Golden Age Green Lantern series coming out.
Yes.
And then in the JSA, we've got, of course, Green Lantern and a Golden Age Red Lantern. So
I know.
that works out.
Yeah.
And we've got the John Stewart series and then the Green Lantern series. So
yes. Yep. Oh yeah. Who was it? Jeremy Adams? He was promoting. They must have put out like the new. Was it October solicits or November solicits? But yeah, seemed like there was a lot of Green Lantern coming out. Hold on, let me look this up. But yeah. Oh yeah, there's the cover. There's is that there's a variant for Jay Garrick, the Flash #2.
Cool.
Tipping the hat as he's running up a building.
Tip in the hat, yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is. When someone posted, "Men, what's stopping you from dressing like this?" And it's the Jay Garrick and Jeremy Adams. A significant exposure to hard water vapor.
Which is the Golden Age Flash's origin. Awesome.
Oh man, look at this cover to Green Lantern #3. Alan Sinestro, and it's Sinestro wearing a leather jacket.
Looks kind of like it.
He's going 90s, man. He's wearing a leather jacket. He's got a big gun in his hand.
He had a hoodie in the first issue.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's stranded on Earth with, I guess, nothing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
There's the story we need, Jeremy Adams. How did Sinestro get stranded here?
Mm-hmm. And what happened to his ring?
Instead of the Guardians stranding him in Cord, did they what is that? The Galactic whatever? Did they
the United Planets.
United Planets, did they strand him on Earth without his ring?
I don't know. Because the last time we saw him in a Green Lantern book was during the Jeffrey Thorne run.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on New Corrigar, I think, in charge of the Sinestro Corps and being, scary Sinestro.
I know. Oh my God. That just, I want that now. Be like, yes, we're going to strand you in the most backwater planet we can think of, Earth.
Oh God, not there.
Oh, you could see. Oh, you could hear Sinestro now. No, it's there's so much disorder. No, so much chaos.
and we're gonna make you be on social media. No.
Oh, isn't that cruel and unusual punishment?
It is. It is.
I love how we're doing a Flash episode. We're still talking Green Lantern. That's fine. Again, we're talking DC. Come on, this is unlimited
Yeah.
justice. All right. So, any other thoughts on
So-
this?
It was interesting because we had Barry Allen for 25, 26 years, right? Up until Crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Post-Crisis, we had Wally.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Bart for a short amount of time as Flash. Then Wally came back temporarily. And then Barry came back. And then we have all these Flashes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I don't know, Flash has such a long, lineage to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, and I think that's something that Jeremy Adams played to really well. And I think it's something that Geoff Johns really brought out, that look at the history that not only the Flash has, but these cities have, and these rogues and all these other characters. Look how, and I think part of it was, the early part of his run was by Scott Collins on art, and there was this, kind of a grittiness to his art, and it added a level of realism to Keystone City and Central City, I thought, which, Johns kind of made characters in their own right in the books, because these cities, played a part in everything that went on in it. But yeah, his run on the Flash is I think it's often overlooked.
Yeah.
Because of course, the huge impact he had with Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So.
Because I mean, yeah, he did such good stuff on the Flash. I mean, he created a bunch of new characters and stuff. But again, I think, like you said, I think it gets eclipsed by Sinestro Corps. Just the all the different spectrums and your Sinestro Corps and Blackest Nights and
a lot of people will say, oh yeah, I love his run on JSA. And
yes,
I feel like that those Green Lantern, JSA, I feel like those things overshadow Flash, but Flash was a really good run.
Right.
For lack of a better term.
What I was telling you, you should read some of his run because Goldface shows up for a while, and it's like half the time he's not even in that armor. He's basically just like a union leader and stuff. It gets interesting.
I read quite a bit of it. And I think I have most of it. It's just that it was in the to read pile and I never got back around to it. So I may, because I was reading it I think I have all of Wade's run on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have probably quite a bit of John's run on it too, because I know I remember buying, what was it, 200, because the Spectre and Spectre shows up in 201 because
What's up, Hal Jordan?
he doesn't know who he is. Why is that? I wonder why that is.
I mean, Geoff Johns' run is a good run, and I was going to say, I mean, as good as these stories we've covered are, I think you'll appreciate them even more if you read like the rest of his issues. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I put that on my list. Nice.
Yeah, I get it.
So these are the two that you've picked for.
Yes, that's what I was going to say when we were done talking this. Yes, I was going to say yes. The next 2 weeks, kids, to round out this Wolf Hellfire is Away month. Yes, 2 Will picks for the next 2 weeks. So much so that we're going to do some comic capers, not even Unlimited Justice, because we're going to be straying outside of the Justice League, Justice Society territory here. Will, tell these people what we're going to be covering the next 2 weeks.
We're going to be doing next week, I believe it's Tom Strong.
Yes.
Numbers 1, 2, and 3. 3 being a personal favorite issue of mine, by some guy, a little known writer of comics, Alan Moore, and an amazingly wonderful artist, Chris Sprouse. It's a pretty awesome. It's just an awesome little book. Part of originally it was in Wildstorm did it, but then Wildstorm got purchased by DC. But it was ABC, America's Best Comics, and yeah, it's a fun little series. I think Geoff Johns even writes an issue later in the run, so
Oh,
there you go. That's a tie-in, like in the 20s, I think. But and then after that, uh, kind of a personal, one of my favorite series is Global Frequency by Warren Ellis and a host of super talented artists. The issue that we're going to look at is going to be the final issue of the series, number 12, with art by Gene Ha, who is a pretty amazing artist that we saw back a long time ago in Green Lantern when he did an issue of Green Lantern. And he's done a lot of good stuff over the years. He did, as part of America's Best Comics, to take us back to there, he was the artist on a book called Top 10, which was, Welcome to Neapolis, where everybody's a superhero, and this is the cops precinct in that city. It's got lots of interesting stories in it.
Yeah, I can't wait because I haven't read either one of these. So yes, I'm very excited to check these out.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the America's Best Comics. I've got there's a Promethea was another one of the titles, and it was by Alan Moore and J.H. Williams III with inker Mick Gray, and the art is just absolutely, it's jaw-droppingly beautiful. And Alan Moore does some really, really interesting things. Sometimes I think he's just showing off, but he can show off because he's really able to accomplish some things that I never would have considered. So yeah, he's that whole America's Best Comics is an interesting kind of. I think the longest series was the Tom Strong series, and it ran about 35 issues. Promethea ran about 30. And then there's Tom Strong's Terrific Tales, Tomorrow Stories, which was an anthology. But it's not a huge, vast amount of issues. Not when you're looking at 200 issue runs in the Flash or something like that. But yeah, it's I enjoyed it. And you said, and I believe you said that both of those are on the DC app.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, when I looked last time we checked, yeah, they were on the apps, the DC Infinite app. So
very cool.
All right.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about those. That's gonna be
so
fun.
you're gonna be the expert next week, yeah, or the next 2 weeks, yeah, because I haven't read these before, so this will be my first time.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, kids, send us your thoughts on Tom Strong and Global Frequency. We'll read them right here. So send all the thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, the Patreon, where you can hear all of Little Hellfire's drunken thoughts on Heroes Reborn now. And again, send suggestions. We'll do whatever on there. It's kind of the Wild West. So, yes. But find everything, including how to join Patreon at tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right. And for those of you who may not listen to Sector 2814, first, shame on you. Two, this man, Mr. Will Allred, is not only just a podcaster, but creates his own comics on Kickstarter. William, give him all the deets.
All right, you can find me at Walred. That's at LLRED, and also at that's at Gmail and Twitter. I refuse to call it X, and Facebook, and probably Blue Sky, and several places that I may not even remember setting stuff up. But you can always get a hold of me if you're looking to find me. If you'd like to check out some of the comics that I Phil mentioned Kickstarter, so we do publish Crossover Division via Kickstarter. We finished up the hardcover for the first 4 issues not too long ago, and we're about ready to send all that stuff to the gorgeous oversized hardcover print, which I'm really excited about. That'll be hopefully going out to backers within the next few months as it gets printed. You can also check out Diary at diaryofnight.com, which is another book that I wrote. And someone that I annoy on a regular basis, Green Lantern podcast, Sector 2814, where we talk about all things Green Lantern. We're up to a certain Sinestro Corps war at this point, which is pretty darn awesome. So definitely give it a listen. Phil's not the only one that I also annoy weekly on it's called Explain Yourself, where we bring on comics creators who are using crowdfunding to fund their projects and try to shine a light on indie comics that are funding on Kickstarter or any other crowdfunding platforms. And finally, because Phil and I both love Marvel's Quasar, and you should too, you can find out more about Quasar at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
Where you can hear things such as,
I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party. I love the party.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
I am God. Seems like I'm getting a package every other day.
all right. Thank you for joining us again. Thank you, Mr. All Red, for filling in for Lilith Hellfire again.
Not a problem. She is irreplaceable. I am
Yes.
simply occupying a chair.
All right. So, yeah, next week, Tom Strong and then Global Frequency after that. Like I said, I've been for quite a ride. I've never read them before, and I'm quite anxious.
I think you're going to enjoy them. I really, really love Tom Strong #3. It's just one of my favorite single issues. It's one of my Desert Island issues, actually.
Oh,
and,
nice.
And then Global Frequency it's one of those things that I've studied. It's in my dissertation, so it's one of those books that I've gone over and over and over and written about. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
So hopefully the hype is real.